Hey everyone, welcome back to the channel for another item guide in Elden Ring, this time for the Regalia of Eochaid. If I'm mispronouncing that, please forgive me, but as you can see here, it is a sword that scales on strength, dexterity, and arcane, which is pretty cool. To get this sword, what you need to do is go to the Ghoul Cave, which is a dungeon in the eastern area just barely to the east of Limgrave, northwest of the Caelid Waypoint ruins, and on the other side of the mountain range of the Third Church of Marika. To get there, you want to go to Summonwater Village and follow the path all the way east and then south until you find a bit of a swampy area. I'll show it off right here. You do, in fact, need a couple of stone sword keys to get in there, unfortunately. But if you are looking for a sword that does both physical and magical damage that, you know, a lot of mages are out there looking for right now, specifically early on in the game, before you go ahead and maybe take on the Storm Castle, this is a good sword for you to get your hands on, so that way you can actually do some close range damage should you need to, whether you run out of, you know, FP or what have you. Now, there is a grace point in here, just like everywhere else. I'm not going to spoil the dungeon for you, but I do want to talk about the boss a little bit. This boss is just like the Grave Warden Duelist that you find in Limgrave along the Eastern River. Instead of a battle hammer, though, he has a big axe, and on the other side of the chain of that axe is a ball. Now, he does have the same moves as the Grave Warden Duelist, which means that you can kind of exploit it a little bit. He does have a lot of wide swings, so what you want to do here is keep him close to the wall. Now, you can proc his wide swing attacks just by kind of staying not really close range, but just close or just out of range enough to where he wants to try to hit you with something longer range. And then he'll just keep doing this over and over and smacking the wall, which will allow you to do whatever it is that you want to do, whether using a bow, a sword, or like me, if you just like to throw rocks at him until you break his posture and then get a backstab for free. Either way, if you are a melee character as well, what you want to do is dodge and parry. Dodging and parrying him is much easier than trying to just block all these swings, because he will drain your stamina like crazy. Overall, though, not a bad fight. It's actually pretty easy. If you've already done the Grave Warden Duelist, then you already know how to take this guy on just fine. Now, he does drop the Putrid Corpse Ashes, which is a solid summon with a lot of exploding corpses that can do upwards of 600 damage each, and I believe it summons 4 of them, so that's a really strong little thing there. But what you want to do from here is look at the other end of the cave. You can see a tunnel leading out, which actually leads back to the other side of the mountain range, back into Limgrave. Now, this area was actually driving me mad earlier in the game because I love exploring and I kind of fear missing out on things, and I couldn't figure out how to get up on this cliff after seeing it for the first time from the Third Church of Marika that you can see over there in the distance. Now, as you can see here is the Regalia of Eochaid, and just on the cliff over here is a few glowstones on this body. Now again, this weapon does scale on Arcane, which I don't really have built up at all, so I can't really show off the dancing blade attack for it. But all the same, the sword does look very cool, has an orange glow to it and a bunch of runes on the side on the blade itself, which looks really cool. Again, this is a great sword for early game mages to take on the rest of the game until you find something better, and I cannot recommend it enough for those of you guys that love this type of weapon. With that said, if this video helped you, leave a like on it so that way YouTube will recommend it to more people looking for the Regalia of Eochaid, and I'll see you guys soon for more.